Hello and welcome to Phillipcapital's extreme finance podcast, Capitalise. I'm your host Vidhaan, and today we're going to talk about something that you and I see every single day all around us: coffee. This little bean has taken over our lives to such an extent कि आज के time में there are tons of businesses that are making huge profits only on the basis of selling this bean. From the Indian coffee house chain to Cafe Coffee Day and Starbucks, and now brands like Blue Tokai and Third Wave, the Indian coffee market has seen tons of growth. But what's making this possible? Where has this love for coffee come from? And as consumers, what can we expect from the Indian coffee market boom? Let's dive in to find these answers. क्या आपको पता है coffee is the second most consumed beverage in the world? It's second to water. It's one of the top 10 traded commodities in the world after the likes of crude oil, gold, and copper. Till date, there have been 3 waves of coffee evolution that the world has gone through that have affected the way you and I drink coffee today. It all started back in the 1800s with the first wave where people started becoming aware of the kick that caffeine provided. It was in this wave that coffee was first commoditized and the world got its first instant packaged coffee. In this wave, brands didn't matter and any coffee did the job. It took another 170 years of the next wave to hit. And the next wave came in 170 years later. In this wave, giants like Starbucks entered the market and transformed coffee culture with cafes that added an experiential twist to the joy of having a cup of coffee. They also added more innovations like frappuccinos and mochas to appeal to a broader mass of people. This helped coffee become more mainstream and the trend spread like wildfire. The third wave began not too long ago, when people became selective and picky about their coffee. They wanted to know where and how their coffee was sourced, whether their beans were freshly roasted or not, how the coffee was brewed, and whether the beans matched a certain flavor profile or not. This led to the emergence of specialty coffee among coffee connoisseurs. Just so that you know, specialty coffee is a term used to refer to coffee that scores 80 plus points on a 100-point scale given by the Specialty Coffee Association of America. Pretty cool, right? Now we know that India loves its chai, and being a tea nation, India has been very slow adopter to all of these 3 coffee waves. In 2011, when the world was in its third wave, India was still on its second wave, which was the cafe wave. So then why is everyone from Starbucks to Tim Hortons trying to enter the India's coffee market? Let's look at a few stats to find out. India's coffee market was valued at $478 million in 2022 and is expected to reach $1,227 million by 2032. At a CAGR of 9.87% during the forecast period of 2024 to 2033. Now, while globally the coffee market has grown steadily by 2.5 to 3% year on year, the growth rate is much faster in India, with the Indian coffee market growing 10 to 15% year on year. Now, over the past 2 decades, India has seen a massive and unexpected increase in the number of coffee lovers, including me. This has happened due to several reasons like increase in disposable income and spending power, global exposure, digital and media penetration from across the world, urbanization, and an overall lifestyle change. With remote and hybrid working cultures now finding a home in India too, what started as a hangout spot at CCD among Indians a few years ago has now evolved into a space for meetings, socializing, and work. With brands like Starbucks, Blue Tokai, and Third Wave, and Sabko benefiting from this change of lifestyle. And with India's current coffee penetration still being as little as 3.9% in 2024, the scope for growth of coffee companies in India is just massive. So massive that venture funds have been pumping huge sums of money in new players in specialty coffee. They clearly feel that the Indian coffee market is a bet worth going all in on. Blue Tokai, one of India's largest coffee giants, has raised $46 million to make their dream a reality. Third Wave has raised $66 million, Sabko $13.6 million, and Slay Coffee $2.8 million. Even Starbucks, who entered the market more than 10 years ago and changed the cafe landscape, did so in partnership with the renowned Tata Group. And with so much money and resources being injected into this coffee market, a few questions stand out. Why do coffee brands require so much money? What do these coffee brands see as key differentiators in the market? And what's the future of the coffee market? In order to gain some insight on this, we have to dive into the strategies of some of these players. In a recent meeting in Seattle, Starbucks revealed their triple shot reinvention strategy for global long-term growth. This includes elevating the brand through better run stores, growing the portfolio with more purpose-defined stores and accelerated renovations, and driving even more product innovation. Strengthening and scaling digital by doubling its 75 million global Starbucks Rewards members within 5 years and expanding digital and technology collaborations to elevate the partner and customer experience. Becoming truly global by accelerating store expansion to 55,000 globally by 2030. Now folks, if that's clear to you, let's talk about India. So when it comes to India, Tata Starbucks Private Limited announced its ambition of operating 1,000 stores in India by 2028, which in other words is one new store opening every 3 days. The strategy focuses on skilling local partners for jobs, opening new stores that serve customers with an elevated experience, and promoting Indian origin coffee to Starbucks customers across the world. To achieve its target of 1,000 stores by 2028, the company plans to double its workforce, approximately 8,600 partners, as it plans to enter Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities of India. Drive-thrus, airports, and its 24-hour store footprint to serve customers wherever they are. A91 partners-backed Blue Tokai plays an interesting strategy by building around superior quality specialty coffee, both in beans and roasting, ethical farmer relations, and easy usage. Blue Tokai has gained a significant market share. Blue Tokai states that customers who try specialty coffee rarely go back to a regular coffee. And I'm personally a testament to that. And this gives the brand a unique edge. Distribution and scaling has been a key component of Blue Tokai's strategy. Adopting an omni-channel approach, Blue Tokai generates traction via e-commerce while simultaneously acquiring and retaining customers via its cafes. It has plans to open over 200 cafes in a 3-year time period. What's more, by pricing its coffee lower than that of Starbucks but higher than that of Cafe Coffee Day, it appeals to a larger audience while still maintaining its premium positioning. Even though Blue Tokai is more of a coffee brand than a cafe brand, today 2/3 of Blue Tokai's revenue comes from its cafes, keeping Blue Tokai all the more bullish on its cafe strategy. Now let's talk about Blue Tokai's rival, Third Wave Coffee, which runs more than 100 outlets in the country and takes an artisanal, small batch approach to roasting their coffee beans. Rather than using large industrial roasters, they operate micro roasteries across major Indian cities. Their roasting processes begin by carefully selecting and sampling green coffee beans from over a dozen top farms and estates, primarily sourced from Karnataka. This allows them to handpick exceptional quality bean lots. At their micro roasteries, the green beans go through a meticulous small batch roasting process. Master roasters closely monitor roast times and temperatures to delicately bring out the unique flavor nuances of each bean. Careful temperature adjustments are key, as over roasting can burn away those subtle desirable tasting notes. The goal is to lock in a peak flavor experience by ensuring the coffee gets roasted to precise specifications and consumed extremely fresh. Third Wave recommends consuming their roasted coffee within just 1 week of roasting for maximum freshness and flavor impact. This clearly obsessive focus on quality over quantity through small batch roasting elevates their coffee offerings to make them an artisanal craft level product. Rather than mass producing commodity coffee, Third Wave positions their roasted beans as a premium, almost artistic quality experience. This positioning as uncompromising flavor artisans devoted to roasting mastery becomes a core part of Third Wave's brand identity and marketing approach. It cultivates an aura of authenticity and exclusivity that appeals to their target market of discerning specialty coffee enthusiasts. By making their skilled roasting process and freshness above all else philosophy so central to their brand story, Third Wave is able to promote their coffees as not just a product but an entire craft beverage experience and lifestyle. This helps convert customers into passionate brand evangelists. Third wave understands that in today's social media world, visuals are key. If something looks great in the photos and videos, it spreads like wildfire online. And that's why they've designed their cafe spaces to be Instagram friendly. The cafes have cozy, well-lit nooks that are perfect for clicking pictures and showcasing an exclusive lifestyle. They regularly bring in local artists to create new mural art installations that change the vibe. Their baristas are trained to make beautifully designed latte art that people love showing off on social media. Instead of relying on paid advertising, they generate a lot of fresh brand exposure just by creating spaces that their customer base wants to photograph and post about. It's a low-cost marketing approach that resonates well with coffee enthusiasts. Third wave is hitting expansion into new cities hard, aiming to rapidly scale their cafes across India's major metro areas. To fuel that growth, they are doubling down on technology and data. Beyond basic mobile ordering and reward apps, Third Wave is leveraging advanced analytics tools to optimize everything about their retail experience. They even analyze crowdsourced ratings, dine-in times, and traffic patterns to continually refine their cafe layouts, menus, and operations. But while things may look great on the surface of this coffee market, let's remember that looks can be deceiving. In September 2023, Economic Times had reported that third wave coffee roasters were clocking in rupees 300 crores in annualized revenue run rate. Later in December, the firm laid off at least 10% of its employees across various verticals. Blue Tokai's losses were up 3.5 times at the end of FY23, despite revenue surging 70% in the same time period. Even Starbucks reported a net loss of 24.97 crores at the end of FY23, demonstrating that there is yet some way to go for the giants of India's coffee market. With tech-enabled specialty coffee chain Ab Coffee securing $2 million in a seed funding round, and Coffee Day Enterprises, the parent of Cafe Coffee Day, reporting an 18% year-on-year rise in its operating revenue to 481 crores with a net profit of 31 crore in the first half of fiscal year 2023 to 2024, this coffee space is one to keep our eyes on. So folks, that's all we have for you today. If you found the Cafe Wars story interesting, let us know in the comments what your favorite coffee brand is. And remember that we also talk about finance and business on Instagram. So don't forget to follow our handles and subscribe to our channel. I'm your host Vidhaan, signing off until our next adventure on Capitalise. I hope to see you in the next one.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.